Hey everybody, have you ever had fusion food? Fusion food isn't really one of my favorites, but there are exceptions. Like this Italian-style Japanese udon noodles. A simple definition of fusion food is taking and combining two different cultural foods and bringing them together into a unique dish, like this Japanese udon noodles. But sometimes the fusion doesn't really work for me because it gets a little bit weird. But there are a few types of fusions that I really like, such as Italian and Japanese. Even the desserts get a little creative. There are sweet red beans that they mix with fruit and ice cream, and also coconut milk, which is a very popular addition to desserts. I wouldn't really know if these would qualify as fusion, but they are certainly creative. If you head east on Spring Mountain towards Chinatown from the Strip, just about 5 or 10 minutes, you'll come to an intersection where you pass Decatur. And after Decatur, just to the right, there is a plaza called the Seoul Plaza. It's a very small plaza and it's always difficult to park here, but there are some iconic restaurants in here, such as Zen Curry. Extremely good Japanese style curry with all kinds of toppings. You can order the spice level that you like. The spice level can be extremely satisfying. And there's also Monta Ramen. Monta Ramen is what started it for me in Las Vegas, and for a lot of people. It's an extremely good Japanese ramen place. In the past, they have won awards for being the best ramen in Las Vegas, and the owner has built his empire of other restaurants. I'm not sure which ones. I know that Monta had another location. They might be related to Goemon and Sushimon as well. And there's Hwaro Korean Barbecue. They were so popular that they opened a second location, even bigger than this one. And then there's Raku. And in case you've never heard about Raku, I'll tell you a little bit about Raku. The owner is a repeat James Beard Award nominee. People fly in from all over the country, all over the world to taste his cooking. A very small restaurant with a big reputation. People will find the food if it's good enough. And then there's Big Wong. I used to come to this place because they had one of the cheapest meals I could find, for $5. They have their menu posted on the door, and they're famous for their Hainan chicken. They spelled it kind of weird right here, but it's $8.50 now, but back in the days it was $5. Hainan chicken is poached chicken and seasoned rice, served with chili sauce and usually with cucumber garnishes. Located right next to Big Wong is the fusion restaurant that I'll be eating at today. This is Trattoria Nakamura. This is a Japanese-Italian fusion restaurant. This is a small restaurant with some pretty amazing food. When you walk in, they have a couple of boards that list the specials for the day. They have a good variety on their menu, everything from Italian fusion to Japanese traditional and some odd items. It gives me a feeling of a cozy neighborhood Italian restaurant. During my college years in the Midwest, I found plenty of Italian restaurants similar to this one. Only this was a fusion restaurant. As you could tell, chopsticks are included with your normal silverware. So let's get into the food that I ordered. I started with something light and fresh, the caprese. I would have preferred more of the thick cut mozzarella that's more traditional, but the balsamic vinaigrette was wonderful. Good solid dish that I would order again. For my second appetizer, I got the octopus carpaccio. This was served with wasabi mayo, a good amount I might add. I love wasabi mayo, but it was a little bit much. Maybe the sauce on the side might be better, then we could dictate how much sauce we want on this. My favorite thing about this dish was the crispy fried garlic. Added a great crunch texture and a flavor to the carpaccio. And the tomatoes and black olives enhanced it even more. The Italian spring rolls were good. It had bruschetta, basil, and mozzarella. The outside wasn't as crispy as I thought it could be. It was kind of a medium crispy. Next, I got the small order of bruschetta. It came in 3 different preset flavors. The first one I tried was orange in color. It was tuna mixed with mentaiko. The tuna is more from the can, not the kind you'd find in a poke bowl. And the mentaiko is a cod roe that has great flavor. For those of you who like tuna, this would be good for you. The second one was an octopus mixed with avocado and wasabi mayo. This was probably my favorite. The third kind of bruschetta was the one with anchovy oil topped with fresh mozzarella cheese and a little basil leaf. I didn't really know it had anchovy oil until I read the menu more carefully. This had a decent flavor, more plain and mild. One of the most popular dishes here is the linguine uni tomato cream sauce. This used to be a lot cheaper, but now with all the raised prices, it comes in at $33. However, they do have some normal priced pastas, as you can see here. Some of the premium items are in the 20s, but you have some more moderately priced pastas around $15. The uni cream pasta was one of the most well-known dishes at this place because I was here a few times in the past. The thinly sliced red stringy garnish on top is not saffron, but it's actually thinly julienned red pepper. Adds a little kick to it. And everybody has seen uni on food shows all over YouTube. Uni is so highly prized as something that's creamy and delicious, but I actually never liked uni. It took me a long time to acquire the taste. Now I don't mind it, but when you mix it in a cream sauce like this with the tomato cream, and you get a very flavorful sauce. It's an umami, salty, sweet, and creamy taste mixed all together, and it goes really well with pasta. But this was the surprise for me today. I already knew the tomato uni cream, but I've never had a chicken dish here until now. This is the grilled chicken in their kinoko cream sauce. Kinoko means specialty mushrooms. The thing about this dish that amazed me was how moist and tender and juicy the chicken was. I think you can see on the video the juiciness of this chicken. For this dish, it's not just the ingredients. Although the ingredients are incredibly good together, mushroom, cream, and chicken, it's just the preparation of it cooked so perfectly. The texture of the mushroom was firm, and the chicken was so tender and moist, and then the sauce was so creamy and rich. This was my favorite dish for today. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Now let me just take a moment to tell you about one of my other favorite fusion restaurants. This is Oodle Noodle. This video is in my playlist. It was posted on May 11th, 2021. This place has pictures, giant pictures, big vibrant menu, incredible dishes, incredible quality. And the reason I'm showing you a little bit of this place is it has very similar items to the place I'm at now, like this carbonara and this uni cream, udon noodles. Amazing flavor, the cheesiness, the Canadian bacon, incredible. Then I decided to finish things off with the dessert, and I couldn't quite decide on what to get, but they had a 3-item sampler. This consisted of the panna cotta and the black sesame blancmange, which are types of Italian desserts, and the tiramisu, which is very popular. Fairly decent quality, although I wouldn't call it premium desserts. After removing the foliage or garnish or whatever, I discovered that I'm not really into panna cotta, and I'm probably not into blancmange either. And then tiramisu, I am very picky because I've had some good ones. And I was at the Caesar's Palace Bacchanal buffet, and I had some incredible desserts and tons of it too. So I'm probably a little bit spoiled in the dessert category for now. But all in all, this restaurant was really good. They had some really good dishes. If you want a different twist on Italian, try this Trattoria Nakamura, a very good Japanese-Italian fusion restaurant. It very well deserves to be in this plaza with all the other reputable restaurants. So that's going to do it for this one. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.